Hello, friend. Welcome. We are people who live on Earth, and planet Earth is made up of water and land. People live in places all over the world, and all those different places have something called a government. Governments make the rules that help us all live and work and stay safe together. The people who work in the government are helpers who make big rules and decisions that impact everyone. All the places people live in the world have governments, but not all of them have the same type of government. This lesson is about our government in the country of the United States of America. Our government is a democracy, which means everyone who lives here should have their opinion heard equally. Let's remember that our country has states, which are groups of people who live near each other. Our country, the United States of America, has roughly 50 states. An example of a state is Illinois. There are governments at this level. And then there's also governments at the city level. For example, in Chicago, starred here, the government does a lot directly for the people who live in the city. There are different rules at different levels, and they work together to keep everything in balance. There are people who work hard to lead at each one of these different levels: the country level, the state level, and the city level. You get more local, meaning the rules that impact things close to your house, as you go from the country all the way to the city governments. Government is important because it helps with rules, but also essential services. Essential services include everything that help us with all the things we need to live. I'll give you some examples, but you might also ask your grown-up if their job relates to any of these things. The helpers in the government have an important job to help with things related to our health and medicine and food. The government also helps with electricity, like the power that keeps our lights on, and transportation, the buses and trains we use. There's also a ton of different types of science that the government supports, and of course, our schools, our education and learning. It helps a lot with things like farming and keeping the environment healthy. It has to share so much information with everyone and step in if there are ever emergencies that affect a lot of people, like bad weather that could cause really big problems. The government thinks about everyone having jobs and houses, and they have a lot to do with money. They make our money, they distribute it, they make all the rules around it. And then, of course, security. The government ensures that our rules keep all of us safe and that we have everything we need to feel safe wherever we live. These things get worked on at all different levels. The government in our country, in our states, in our city levels, it's important that all of those people work together. The government is people whose job is to help everyone get what they need. All right, great job listening. I'm so proud of you. Take a break. You can stretch, chat with your grown-up, and then come back in just a moment to learn about leadership and who's in charge of our country. Hello, welcome back. The top person in charge of the country's government is called the president, and there are a lot of people who work with them. But the president doesn't just work at the level of the country. The president and their team also work with governments and all of those government helpers from all around the world. The president also needs to work with people who work at the state government level. And they work with the people who work at the government at the city level. All these different big helpers listen to all the people's ideas like you and me and try and make fair choices. That's why it's important that they all work together. Currently, our president's name is Donald Trump. Because we have a democracy and the president represents all the people, the president has to work really hard to listen to all the people. So based on if we, the people, like things or don't like things, we have to speak up. because the president and his team and the government's job is to work for the people. One way we speak up is when we vote. We make a choice based on what we think, like when your class is given 2 options for an activity. Everyone shares their opinion and votes, and then everyone goes with the choice that gets the most votes. For the government, voting means we formally share our opinion at specific times for specific reasons. And it's okay when we vote and agree. And it's okay when we vote and disagree. That's why we discuss things and get information before we vote. Different viewpoints are important, and all voices have to be heard. It's our duty as people who live in the United States of America to speak our minds and opinions and change them when we learn better. This value brings all of us together as Americans. And we do this together with each other and for each other, even outside of voting, because we belong to each other in a democracy, and having our voices heard together make them stronger. Okay, remember, information is powerful. Learning new things helps us make good choices. Thanks so much for learning today, and until next time, I hope your days are sunny.